Oh boy.
No mystery at all. But wait till you see what happens with the red knights. Oh boy. So the rule is, you go down the spiral again, and you place a black knight.
You go down the spiral. Should we talk about capitalism and the death spiral that happens? I mean, I imagine it's like this with every system, but every death spiral has to be talked about anyways, right? And the key word is actually not the spiral itself, but royalty is the key word. In order to actually not fall down, you have to act right like royalty, like you deserve things, right? You deserve a good job. That discomfort is more meaningful than other people want you to believe. You feel it in your guts that something is wrong, and very likely it's wrong. Because unfortunately, you are all alone. And the best relationship you can have with yourself is feel royal. Feel like great things are waiting for you even if you don't quite have them. Right? You're gonna get it back. What's rightfully yours. You're gonna win back your own kingdom. Unfortunately, my video was ruined. I was supposed to talk about gaslighting. So yeah, I have so many more things to talk about. But we're gonna talk about this. So what is the ultimate rule to avoid in the death spiral is to hurt yourself. Don't do that, right? And in general, just like don't take risks. It gets complicated though, right? But as royalty, you're not really allowed to do anything toxic. And that sort of thing is like everywhere. I mean, that's the projection of celebrities. Just celebrities make it feel meaningless as well. And well, politicians make it feel that nothing is happening. That life is not dramatic, which is also not true. But on the base level, you simply must avoid pain and suffering, right? Because that's the death spiral. Pain and suffering. And you feel like, well, there's no reason to live anymore. But very likely it's your mindset is broken. It doesn't matter how lonely you are. The more isolation, the better. You're just better than them, right? They can't hang out with you. They can't handle it. They can't handle the royalty level. They're the pawns in the game. They have to do their own shit. They're not interested in high level, high stakes. Because if they fuck something up, then you will punish them. It's high stakes. You cannot fucking do stupid shit. Either you stay silent or you get kicked out. So it's not about like you. It's about kicking out the toxicity or toxicity elimination ritual. Off with his head. Okay, that's the only thing we know about kings. They sit in their throne and they chop heads. Not even by themselves. Because that would be toxic, right? They just give the orders of like, well, this guy does not deserve a head, actually. People get kicked out. People get bounced off the castle if they say something stupid. Alright, and everyone is suggesting you certain things. And every single time, every time you step one step forward, someone didn't do it. Someone chose to stay in their fucking step. Every little bit of progress matters. And it's not about comparing yourself to other people, but it's about stepping forward because you're leaving people behind. Every single bit of progress will leave someone behind to admire you. Even if they don't like it, they will pay more attention to you. Because you'll simply be in front of them. They didn't do the step. They see it. They might be pissed. But there's nothing they can do. So not only every single bit of skill matters, but you get to see like everyone is laughing at you, even though you're growing your royalty. Either way. Whether you're growing your self-esteem through the brain, or you are growing your wealth through the heart. Anyone who's below you, you can actually visibly see it's not that hard. Okay, if you're in front of someone, you can see them behind you every single time you turn around as, oh, you have nothing. You pathetic creature. You have done nothing with your life. We know nothing about you. Well, that's very sad. Yeah, the brain craves information. If you become royalty, the more you experience, the more shit you have to go through in life. Or again, with a heart, it's the things that you acquire, the more things you have. That makes it also royalty. Two pathways. You know which one I had to go through. I didn't choose, guys. Anyways, instead of saying you're alone, you are rare. Eventually, you deserve attention from the higher up people. But the way it's happening to me, it's like I have to nag them, basically, for attention. I have to irritate them. And it's fine with me. Whatever happens, happens. I read it in a very different light. I read it as a conqueror. Conquer. I don't fuck around. I go after these people that I don't like. Because at the very least, I stand for something. And at most, what I stand for doesn't have a voice. Do incels have a voice? No. Do card gamers who just want to have fun have a voice? Not really. Now, our job of this video is probably to escape the death spiral. Alright, it's not easy, unfortunately. And everyone is born into this, basically. They all have to try and start escaping as fast as possible because things close off and become a little bit too toxic to survive without damage. And even where I am right now, you might think I'm doing great. I'm in the middle of it, and it's still pretty dark. You know, for me, I live in a much greater difficulty. I'm supposed to take damage. I'm supposed to basically breathe underwater and swim through lava, basically. It's a whole nother thing that I'm surviving. Everyone else just kind of makes it just above the toxicity level, and they feel safe, basically. But I flow with it, almost. I use it as a current. Where the toxicity is, it kind of lifts me up and makes me work harder, right? Because that is technically death, you know, piling on and consuming more people and dragging them down. So potentially what I say to them is just like, nope, you can't drag me. I almost like troll the edgelord existence. If there's an edgelord thing that you can do, I will troll it. I'll be there collecting edgelords. Of who would allow blindfolded toxicity? They just don't even see it filling up in their lives. They just allow it. Toxicity or stupidity, either one of these are fine. And you might think you know what toxicity is, and you might even point a finger at me because that's what, that's what it's all about. Welcome to capitalism. Finger pointing is the revolution of the day. You're probably going to be wrong if you point at me, but sure, you're going to not be too wrong. It's 50-50, right? I'm literally right there. But am I myself toxic? Or am I growing? Because a toxic person would not be able to grow. They would stagnate eventually. But I'm kind of just riding the wave of toxicity. I get to know the latest and the greatest. What is the deadliest thing of today? But not actually have anything to do with it personally. I mean, one of the most toxic things is to bottle your emotions. I'm a honest person, so that one is off the list. And yet people think the opposite because gaslighting. Okay, we're going to talk about gaslighting, and people just love thinking the opposite. And who knows, maybe I'm riding my own wave, maybe the real danger is slightly below me, right? I'm simulating my own reality to some extent. So what you treat as toxicity is my creation, which is kind of fine. It says city in there. Well, that's a big deal. But fundamentally, if you hit rock bottom, we talked about it at some point. Hitting rock bottom is definitely not what you want to do. There's the death spiral of just taking drugs. Drugs are toxic, fucking obvious. You turn into a zombie. Game over. There's no way out of this. Where are you gonna go? There's no resources to get out of this, to crawl back out. Once you sink below the fucking level, you are a zombie. You're stuck there. Until we change the system. But no one's gonna feel pity for you for ruining your life. Right? You have to crawl out of this fucking shithole. And it's just so easy. It's an easy game. But that's why you seeking rarity to not, take damage from doing stupid shit. It's just the magic of saying no in the end of the day. There's a lot of things you can buy in life. Just say no. You don't want the best things. You want cheap things that work. That's a way better strategy. Or a good job. But that's not my, expertise. I don't even know if good jobs exist because, toxicity. It's very easy to fall into it when you're obligated to do whatever it takes to keep your job often enough. It's tough, man. So you somewhat, recognize what it is. It's basically not supposed to be violence. Stealing from people, lying to people without merit, just being unreasonable, that's toxic. Name calling, and yes, gaslighting. But usually it just kind of devolves very quickly. You want to trigger people. You want to see their true selves. Non-toxic human being is not gonna get triggered by stupid shit. Right now we live in anxiety heaven. Alright, you can just climb out of the dark stuff by interacting with, oh look, Subway Surfers. Much better. Well, the idea, you just want something positive, something simple, maybe even nostalgic. Who cares? right? Just something happening. You grow accustomed to it like every single meme, but you have celebrities, games, shows, movies, a lot of consumer material. Anxiety, heaven is the concept that you have billions and trillions of things to consume, including foods. You can consume one business after the other that serves food. All right? You cannot consume relationships, but you can definitely waste them. Burn the bridges. If someone told you you have ADHD, that's a compliment. You move on with your life. To be actively distracting yourself, like I personally crave knowledge. So unfortunately, I have to live as a fucking edgelord and understand the toxicity face to face. Everyone else who have been ignoring the world this whole time are probably just so much better off. Like, I just uploaded a video about Eurovision. Some people literally just make videos or an entire channel just exclusively to Eurovision. They're doing fucking great, right? They're locked in. They care about their thing. And I personally, well, I have ADHD, but in a different manner, right? Where I don't even like respect money that much. I have ADHD of wanting to do many, many things, and I can't feel my own royalty of like, you have to listen to me because I have many important things to say about this topic that we both like, right? I don't have like this intimidation quality, but that's fine. I seek knowledge. Many people should be seeking knowledge. It's very helpful. Might be useful later, too. Like, when I talk to AI, I feel like I have a much more powerful vocabulary and just, like, much more urge to talk to AI in my own way, where it makes it interesting, right? I get to express myself how I want it. Use my words of the day. Because it's not the vanity word that you need, the word that you have never heard before, but like, oh shit, this is meaningful. No. You rediscover words. Words themselves, they kind of meaningless, but when the representation grows 2 times, all of a sudden, the word is so much more valuable. You rediscover it in much greater context. Like, I rediscover that royalty is happening everywhere. Everyone is trying to look clean and pretty, and there wasn't a word for it until there is. Like, it's fucking obvious. They're just like manifesting royalty. They're pretending they're better than everyone else. Like, that's the obvious thing. And it should irk you, should rub you the wrong way. It should be annoying. That's kind of the whole point of it, you know? And even though I used to be a subject of getting pissed at royalty, and I still am, like some YouTubers pissing me off because they have things, but you're able to flick the switches, turn on and off your attention towards someone, right? By discovering something better, you can switch to, again, it's the last video and you get it, but this is a big deal, right? If I find a better Mr. Beast, I will watch that person instead. Right now, there is no better Mr. Beast, but I am willing to support the better version, and I'm willing to ditch the main version to some extent. It gets hard with the best of the best because they're probably like royalty in many categories, not just one. But and potentially I myself will have to beat Mr. Beast. No one else can fucking do it by themselves anymore. So who knows? There's some exceptions to the rule. It gets pretty weird because we're talking about life here. But in very simple circumstances, there is the better thing. All right. I mean, I go to shop and I realized eventually that one shop is good at one thing and one shop is good at another thing. At one shop, I'm buying meats. At the other shop, I'm buying, well, the rest. The rest of the stuff. The foods. The soups. The frozen items, maybe. Right? So, once you discover the best things within different places, that's what you collect. That makes your life much better. Discovering the best things that are available to you, right? That's also going to keep you away from the death spiral because, you know, the Dragon Balls are spread out. You have to collect the best things in life. They're all in different locations and not necessarily elected by people automatically. The best thing might be just as unpopular as I am. Alright, so now the biggest swear word apparently is generic. And generic stuff, like in Eurovision, is not doing very well. Why? You have to ask yourself why, but it's just like that's what these motherfuckers decided. They want spice for their meals. They're just very hungry. They're extra ADHD, but in a very toxic way. That's toxicity. It's just is what it is. People cannot eat bread anymore. Bread is boring. What are you gonna fucking eat, you moron? You can add any spice on bread, but you poop on your fucking bread. You throw it away. That's not royalty, okay? Royalty is not about throwing things away because you can afford whatever you want. No, 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 no. You're mistaken. You're highly mistaken. Feed the fucking hungry at least. If you're not gonna eat it. Right? Have your dogs. But not like animals. Have your dogs that, like humans, that you call dogs, that eat your leftovers. Alright? Just be nice. That's almost like the biggest mistake that royalty makes. Their leftovers are always thrown away, never given to anyone below them that would wait and just, you know, I'll take it from you. Don't worry about it. You don't have to throw it away. You can give it to me. It's almost exciting to work under someone to see how they throw things away because I also have things. I don't have anyone below me. I would love to have friends, or I just give them some stuff that I don't like. Maybe they can make those things work, because I couldn't do it. That's the end. If you see, like me, people rummaging in the trash bins, fuck it, you can throw things away. Fast enough so it gets taken away by someone who needs it. Simple as well, right? That is your friend, unfortunately. You're not big royalty if you're sitting above a trash can, but unfortunately I'm in the same place, so. There's something weird about, like, small talk. Alright? To me, it is as weird as Uncanny Valley. It's potentially just toxic. right? It's just enough effort where it's just awkward. You're kind of festering in the awkwardness of breaking silence, but you're actually not using that breaking of silence for anything. Right? Just small talking. You're filling out silence with a bunch of fucking nothings and more silence because it's awkward. And you can't even walk away from it because you already said something. Just saying hi makes the ruins everything. All right. Hi. How's it going? What? You want to talk about something? Like that's what happens. The uncanny valley is just inexperience, basically. You're doing things almost correctly, almost as like we see the vision, but there's something wrong with it. And sometimes it's glaringly obvious. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be glaring. Captain Sparkles just came out with a video about leasing, just in high detail explaining how bad it can get. But, of course, everything's a scam nowadays. If you can't own it, there's no reason to attempt to own it. To contract with it. If you cannot own it, just let it go. Don't worry about it. It's gonna come down. Usually, technology comes down in your hands. You can also create a lot of things yourself. But just another pile of toxicity is to trick yourself that you can own something when you can't afford it. I mean, that's the promise of drugs. Promise. Yeah, but drugs promise some kind of extravagant meaning of life, but it's just a craving that people have. Surely doesn't work out in the end. Meaning of life is living life, not living a fucking disillusioned life. I mean, in my dream, I saved Justin Bieber from something current water related. I don't know. And I sheltered him. And he kind of lives in my heart now. I don't know what to do about it. Guys, this is serious. What if he's there, you know? What if he's full-time there now? Because that place exists, and he might just be there. It's fucking crazy. Permanently. Permanent character. Justin Bieber, guys. Just for me. I also got attacked by tigers, so I guess we're even now. In my dream, yeah, attacked by tigers. The shit I have to deal with. It makes no sense, but I get drugs every time I close my eyes, it looks like. I don't need drugs. There's one thing worth saying, right? The prettier they look, because women choose this path. Oh, look, I get different colors. Wow, exciting. The prettier they look, the higher they climb, but it's the more exciting it is to see them, you know, torn apart. Maybe that's what sex is, okay? It's a crossover between these two worlds, two directions. Crossover of hearts and minds. Alright. And a man is very interesting to bring them to life. Sort of expose them sometimes, too. But to me, it's just like, get a fucking girlfriend. Alright, start living life already, you weirdo. Because I know I'm in this situation, and I know everyone would be excited to see what happens if I start living life. Because I'm excited. Okay? Like, what happens to me, I know it reflects on reality. I know I live objectively and everything. Just like beauty is in the end objective. You can't fake it. You either have it or don't have it. And beauty is a very complicated thing. It's a very fleeting thing. It slips through your fingers. Like, women have to spend it as best as they can. So that's their, limit that they have to try and outrun. The beauty will deteriorate. It's catching up unless you spend it. For men, the path is to, I don't know, maybe do the same thing as I'm doing. Maybe you ride the wave and you take the damage, but you still feel untouchable in the end of the day. You just grow a thick skin while your body naturally bubbles up to where you're taking less damage because you know exactly where to go to take less damage, to say no to toxicity. You know exactly what to do. This obviousness is very helpful. While women, it's obvious they just have to spend on valuable things. Is different. Still obvious. What is not obvious is when the line closes off and starts sending them into downward spiral because they don't feel attractive enough, and they have to settle down for certain contracts over and over again. They just have to accept abuse of some kind over and over again. The self-esteem contracts, and the growth becomes 10 times harder to achieve. You want to outrun the death spiral. You're gonna die at some point. You know the death spiral is gonna catch up to you at some point, but you want it to last for as long as possible. You want to outrun it as long as possible. That's gonna determine how long you live potentially, as well. Everything you do is supposed to stack your energy against all odds before people start noticing that you are better than them. And then they start fucking dragging you down, trying to put pressure on you. But they cannot do it without it being some kind of positive outcome. Because you can always just shake it off because they're assholes, right? You can always just say no when they're just being assholes. And that's the fucking game they have to play. And with men, very difficult to trick men. They have high self-esteem, have very refined self-esteem. You're not gonna fucking trick me. I have the psychology figured out. I see your every move, and all the toxicity that I go through gives me that thick skin where I know what to expect from toxic people. It's very readable. I think the funny irony is that trying to avoid toxicity is often pretty toxic. I mean, seeing YouTubers not interact with the comment section is kind of weird. You're above people because you do more, but you're not supposed to be way above, where you're completely disconnected. Yeah, everything concerning drugs, everything concerning excess amount of spending that drags you down. Every single dollar counts. If you adopt an expensive habit, like it's just more gravity that can suck you in. I haven't seen like crazy hit rock bottom stories, but maybe just because I didn't fucking listen to what was being told. I mean, people do tend to disappear from celebrity status and reappear as, well, ugly. We had this image, bro. Well, bro bounced back eventually. Well, you know, that was a weird part of his life. I mean, it's great to bounce back. You definitely can do that if you were already part of royalty. I think this song is gonna teach me something.
We're driving Cadillacs in our dream. Live that fantasy.
Well, you can, I guess. We never gonna be royals, well, directly anyways. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that you're not supposed to be treated like shit from people below you. You can be treated like shit with people above you. It always happens. But technically, we shouldn't be treating like shit anyone. Alright, it's just these people below you can be cut off. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, first of all, you have to stay ahead of everyone else. Just in case you need the opportunity to cut them off. Right? You know you're ahead. If you know you're ahead, you basically evaluated how much effort everyone else is putting in. Yes, there is another toxicity in his treating people too well. I mean, just anything out of balance is going to be ridiculous, but you sell yourself out, right? Your OnlyFans career definitely not going to cost you anything, is it? Well, it costs you relationships. You're burning relationships at full speed. You can only associate with certain people. Certain people are now more attracted to you because they think they can abuse you because you abused yourself, right? It's just like a death spiral, more gravity. You definitely want to avoid the risky stringing yourself into the death spiral. It is very difficult to calculate what's going to happen in the future, besides that you're going to keep on going forwards, unless there's too much gravity, and all of a sudden you cannot move forward anymore. Treating people too nicely and getting subscribers that way, where like everyone expects the higher and higher quality stuff, like that's what Mr. Beast is doing. Technically, at some point, it'd be a deadlock, and bro is gonna start plummeting, but again, Mr. Beast kind of owns immunity. Everyone else gets to suffer. I mean, not to mention you can do illegal things and then you get caught and shut down immediately. No debate. You're trying to fucking hack the system, so you get hacked. Getting yourself thrown in jail, that's a big-ass death spiral. Because, there can be many additional consequences to that. Like, if you have to pay rent, well, say goodbye to that apartment. Where do you gotta move out your stuff? Like, it's just, it gets so fucking weird, man. Where jail is just half the punishment. The rest of the punishment is, again, destroyed relationships or whatever. I mean, you're sort of obligated to treat people above you nicely unless they don't treat you nicely, then, I mean, you're obligated to retaliate. Right? Treat people how you want to be treated is the principle, in the end of the day. If they don't respond to you, all of a sudden you are finding yourself, you can say whatever you want, right? Who's gonna care? If they block you, they just block another ability to apologize, and you can continue being toxic about those people. Because they didn't even try to stop you. Ah, yes, of course. There's no such thing as death spiral, is it? I think it's a very cool concept, especially if it doesn't exist. You know, goth chicks, right? I feel like they're the death spiral. Like, a lot of people will come to you with their baggage to see how much death spiral you want to have. Basically, they will invest into your death spiral. And if you accept a toxic person into your life just because, right? Oh, I want sex or whatever. I want sex or money. I mean, that's the two go-tos, right? But like, you expose your broken morals, again, you're gonna be attracted to shitty people. You will allow them to pull you down whenever they feel like it. They will be your gravity. They will sit on top of your face. They will try to climb on top of you to be your royalty. You treat them nicely, and they don't have to treat you necessarily. Yeah, it is perspective based. So, like, if someone doesn't treat you well, you pull them down. You don't like them that much. Obviously, it has to be like unfairness type of thing. But you just being yourself, you're not trying to be toxic or anything, but you got fucking hammered. Yeah, so the obvious ones exist. You know, is all investment gambling? I don't know. I don't touch that shit. That's the funny thing. I think it is because you have to encounter a lot of brain rot. And you have to, like, translate these extreme versions into logical question of, like, does anything you're doing add more gravity? My mom might be stupid, but she's doing the one correct thing is surviving. The moment you survive, you don't want to change anything. And my mom seems very dormant as a person. But that's another thing. It's like, what's the point of doing anything when other people are doing things already? They're already producing things, they're doing things, entertaining each other, right? You don't have to do it. If you find a responsibility, it's nice to pick up, absolutely. But you don't have to do most of the stuff. So even feeling responsible can be a death spiral. But that's like gaslighting. We gotta talk about it. I mean, you go all the way out to where masturbation is acceptable because it's the opposite of sex. Desperate sex without love, like, that's you selling out and seeking pleasure in the most extreme way. Again, entertainment is very cheap, it's almost free, but people tend to put themselves through a gravity in order to extract experiences from life. They make it expensive. But where would you put money if you're not... Shut up. Royalty? I'm not talking to you right now. But also pretending to be higher royalty than you actually are is also very self-damaging. Although I am the highest royalty right now. Yep. Godlike royalty. Instead of NPC authority royalty. Two places I can be. My trauma and being a man chose a very simple path, so... Again, that's why I see, like, men in these tough positions. Men are kings. Women don't have to do that. But king is just a title. A king is there to make tough decisions as well. something that a person with big heart would find a tough thing to do. Yeah, popularity, royalty, very popular people spreading positivity instead of toxicity. They feel proud of themselves. But sometimes it feels passive when they're not actively pursuing battle against toxicity. How do you do that, though, without it itself being toxic? How do you deal with drama? Because drama is like where everyone turns into a death spiral zombie, basically. Of like, I death spiraled. People start being proud of spiraling and showing their real selves. But it's more like, again, it's gravity of people below you, sort of allowed to be assholes through the lens of drama, but that's just how they feel. Again, you wouldn't actually allow them to do anything. If someone just call you names instead of having opinions, they're useless. In fact, right now with the head shop drama, most important thing to use drama for is to weed out some idiots from the internet. But it gets so fucking boring eventually of like, yeah, I know how they look like. They just look like people who never put effort into themselves. Like, that's it. Fucking simple. Well, there's another obvious word. Rage bait. Yeah. That's gonna suck you in. Now, how many people perform rage baits? Only people below you. Alright? They don't have to say truthful things, that's the problem. They can say bullshit things. And you just don't have to fix the narrative. You just gotta fucking get rid of the filthy, toxic people. Regardless. They might misunderstand things on purpose. You just don't know. And it's pointless. You have to leave them behind. They got caught in a death spiral. You don't want to get dragged into it. But that's what it is, right? Like, people below you who don't contribute, you cut them off. People above you who don't contribute, you don't treat them nicely. And often actively sabotage their reputation if you can. Yeah, by any means, the biggest death spiral is picking the wrong job. If a job is willing to abuse you, well, you're cooked now. Because you might feel obligated that you don't have other options. And it can be a like actual double death spiral. You go out into the world, it sucks, and you go into dedicating yourself for the job, it sucks. You're basically in a dead end when it comes to your choices being bad either way, right? You almost have to like roll with the flow. This death spiral is so deadly that you pretty much see everyone dying from it. Alright, dying from having jobs. Dying on TikTok saying, 9 to 5, I am dead now. What do I do? What's the meaning of life anymore if 9 to 5? And it's like, yep. The meaning of life is to get another job called not spending money. Or not being American, because Americans get scammed of their money left, right, and center. Right? You gotta figure a way out of the system. Crack the matrix. Because that's the one that, like, is the capitalism death spiral, is the fucking established version of this. And again, if you allow bad feelings to manifest and you don't see meaning in life, you're just more likely to adopt bad habits. The funny thing is, I pushed this video hard. This video is also on a death spiral, or half of me wants to delete it and just, I said nothing interesting, nothing important, but I'm making through. I'm making my way out, despite the gravity. Sometimes it's better to finish the thing instead of just delay it, forget it, give up. Sometimes it's better to finish the damn thing, okay? You know when it bothers you. When it bothers you every day, when it makes you overthink. No, so, some things you can just, like, delay and forget about it. They're not that important. To me personally, it's money spending. It's not important for me. But yeah, another death spiral, just like even opening up your privacy wide open. People just want to destroy it. They're selfish. What's that about? Well, you have to notice, again, what turns into toxicity and shut down the process. And unless there's a good offer, you don't open yourself up. Offer opens you up. You can close yourself down from all the bullshit and listen to the offers. And you will notice that capitalism does not offer you anything directly. It just kind of spreads out good wishes to everyone. Have a nice day, everyone. You'll learn that, like, that's a popularity contest. Everyone is just doing that, not really caring to offer anyone anything in particular. You can go through a multitude of businesses and not be offered anything, right? You can even enter a business, ask what are the good offers recently, and you might not get a fucking answer. You might get just like, what? What do you mean? I don't get it. Right? So you can't actually expect offers. You have to double down on things that do not traumatize you. But that's one way that, the system will have to fix itself. To open people up, you have to offer them something. And no, the death spiral does not happen just because you cut people off. You're much faster that way. People are not just like someone to be empathetic about. They should all, again, like, maybe you're gonna be traumatized by 2 steps below you type of people. And you don't want to handle that, hang out with them anymore. 2 steps below you. That, again, you have to practice your royalty. And royalty is fundamentally cutting out toxicity. That's the fundamental thing. That's the most important definition of royalty. Definitions are about positive sides of things. So you have to be good at it, because you're responsible of dodging bullets, of surviving. Toxicity is the way, your survival chances are diminished. And trust me, toxicity is everywhere. Under a toxic cloud, you die. And toxic cloud is, again, the death spiral. Just another name for it. Things accumulate and accumulate, and all of a sudden, you're under a tough amount of gravity. Now, I have a little bit of cloud up there as well. It's traumatizing, but, you try to resist it as much as you can. You try to push for good ideas to manifest. People underestimate me. People don't see anything valuable in me. That's fine. No big deal. I mean, I can keep it to myself. Because there's the opposite of death spiral is the great opportunity spiral. And it has to dangle a stupid tail at everyone of like, you want the great opportunity, you want it, you take that. It's a good deal. It is worth taking opportunities in the end of the day. If they be dangling. Just to see what happens. You don't have to commit. Best politics is no politics. Best drama is no drama. Alright? Two sides fighting each other, they're just like entangling themselves in toxicity, putting a toxic cloud above their heads. If you don't have a good cause of fighting over something, there's no reason to fight. And the reasons to fight diminish every single time the other side fails to acknowledge what you're fighting for, how important it is to you. If they fail to acknowledge, I mean, they're the toxic ones. They're the la la la, I can't hear you, la 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 la. Idiots, basically. And you move on, you win, you take the win. Because it's about taking the win by putting just enough effort, right? If you put a lot of effort into your opponent, you give them a lot of information and they still stick to their fucking guns and repeat themselves, you don't repeat yourself, alright? That's the programming rule 101. So in these, like, battlefields, best politics is no politics. You always try to trip your opponent to do something really toxic, really stupid, so you can take the win and move on, right? The faster you can win, the faster you can resolve this issue. Because you don't want to lose, obviously. It's a competitive environment to fight for whatever you believe in. But the fastest way you can win is the best way, right? Or sometimes more reliable way to win, of course. Shipism. Shopism? Anything can be ism, guys. Anything. I love it. Very similar ground picking, but it's a different category entirely. It's just the form of the battlefield. It's a very advanced battlefield. Alright, no one dies. Death spiral is more like a shame. Because when it comes to like political operation level, everyone is observing you to not make a single mistake. Over-analyzing your every move. To the point where Trump doesn't care. On purpose to make himself unpredictable or something. I don't know, man. I guess the final meme, can entertainment be a death spiral? What about the brain rot of the world? Doom scrolling? You are consuming content from the above, and if you enjoy it, what have you, right? Obviously, self-improvement comes from owning and maintaining your own things. And you can, again, just find things you like, all of a sudden figure out how they work, and then make your own version of something, and just it keeps growing like that. You just have to maintain the things you have. You have to have a list of things you have, and maintain that. It's very easy to maintain like a fucking dog, right? But the dog dies. So, there's a big trade-off in the end of the day. Unless you create a dog family, but like, why would you need more dogs, right? Like, it's a fucking dead end. You have to really think about the future of the thing that you own that makes you a bigger person. If it's just not a dead end, if there's more to it. There's a future for it. Alright? That's about it. Because the death spiral is hitting a dead end or completing a game. Finishing a series and then you don't know what the fuck to do. Right? You're waiting for the next thing, and the next thing does not exist, just You should be excited about just the general genre of things. Movies like the one I watched. Right, now with AI, you can find the movies that you potentially would like by typing in a list of movies that you already like. What is the next one? Right, AI can actually handpick you exactly based on your cravings. Maybe it works. I don't know if it works, but this sort of stuff has always been there in the internet, right? So you never stop. Even if you are doom scrolling, so to speak, you should not stop enjoying it, right? Otherwise, you have to fix the problem. See you guys next time.